The BYOD conference room provides huge flexibility for users to connect into virtual meetings from practically any software platform. This makes your room agile and equitable whilst retaining access to some of the latest AI features. But what do I mean by BYOD? Well, BYOD is an acronym for Bring Your Own Device. It's a term used to describe how users can connect their personal device, their laptop for example, and run virtual conferences through the meeting room's AV systems. So be that a Teams, Zoom or Google meeting, users connect either wired or wirelessly to the system, select the room's hardware within the software settings panel, as if you would if you were pairing a set of headphones. And this allows the laptop to use the room's camera, microphone, speakers and display. Bring your own device is also commonly referred to as bring your own meeting. So in today's meeting, we discuss when to use bring your own device rooms. We explore the advantages and disadvantages of the technology, and we make recommendations of where and when to deploy it. But before we get started, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. I'm the meeting room doctor. Let's open surgery. Most corporate businesses will install meeting room hardware that matches their chosen conferencing ecosystem. This might be Microsoft Teams or Zoom or Google Meet. Deploying an ecosystem makes it very easy for staff to use and for IT teams to administer, but there are situations where an ecosystem won't be the best solution. You might want to join meetings set up by others which aren't on your ecosystem. If you're in an office with shared meeting room facilities, it makes it difficult to lock in a single technology vendor or account. And as businesses merge and develop, technology platforms may be different and need to run in parallel for a while. Conference rooms need to accommodate these variances, but it's not cost effective to run separate ecosystem rooms when staff will have limited use for them and office space is so expensive. So what's the answer? Well, let's assume someone invites you to a meeting and it's not hosted on the same ecosystem platform. Ecosystems have themselves thought about this to a point and have created what's called direct guest join. This is an agreement between Microsoft, Zoom and Cisco and allows those respective ecosystems to join the other parties' meetings. But there are limitations. Generally speaking, it's at a lower resolution than if it was native. And content sharing can be a challenge. That's both by HDMI sharing or if you've got a content camera. And also they don't support dual displays. Businesses might not want the additional cost of running an ecosystem room specifically for the odd meetings. So bring your own device also provides a credible option. As I mentioned earlier, users simply connect a laptop and select the in-room cameras, microphones, speakers and displays. And they're running the conference from the software environment that they're familiar with that's loaded onto the laptop itself. So let's deep dive into the hardware, the basic hardware considerations when video enabling a bring your own device room. In fact, much of the equipment mirrors that as if you were putting in an ecosystem room itself. It's just that the compute element which runs the native ecosystem is not required. So you've typically got a touchscreen controller which allows you to adjust camera and microphone settings, but this isn't always present in the same way that the compute module isn't always present as well because it's not needed. The peripherals will be the same, so you will have a camera which is sufficiently sized to capture all the participants in the room. You'll have a set of microphones which are able to pick up the conversation and reject background noise and distractions. Displays, as with all meeting rooms, would be suitably sized, and most bring your own device settings will be a single screen bring your own device environment. Content sharing will always be via the host laptop or somebody else who's in that meeting as well. And oftentimes people will still continue to use meeting room booking panels as these will provide an assessment as to whether the room is in use and when it needs to be booked. What are the advantages of bring your own device compared to an ecosystem? Well, bring your own device minimizes the need for a company to set up company-owned computing. So it does reduce the hardware investment when you're setting up a room. Rooms become platform agnostic and that allows users to access Zoom, Teams, Google, etc. without dedicated hardware licensing. The licensing comes from the systems that are loaded onto the user's laptop and not from the system. Plus, platform agnostic environments are ideal for shared meeting spaces, especially in co-working or serviced office environments. And bring your own device users will have access to the advanced AI features of the cameras and microphones that have been installed. So it's much better than running it from the laptop itself. But there are some disadvantages of a BYOD deployment. Essentially, one of the meeting room participants will need to connect their laptop throughout the call, removing their ability to interact with that device or leave early. The in-room experience is based on personal license and not a dedicated Teams or Zoom room. And this is less featureful and doesn't interact quite as well with that meeting room experience. Bring your own device is also reliant on connecting users being able to select the room's hardware from the device. So some basic IT knowledge is required, which shouldn't be a problem. In reality, the best option would be an ecosystem room with BYOD enabled, and that would give you the best of both worlds. If you play out this scenario, the room would run as an ecosystem until someone plugs in a laptop to access the BYOD functionality. And the addition of a BYOD switcher would allow users to be able to connect in and use the peripherals. And this generally is an automated switch. When the call is finished and the system is unplugged, it reverts back to being an ecosystem. Hardware selection is as important in a BYOD space as it is in an ecosystem room. There is less formal guidance on what camera, microphone and speaker equipment is suitable for different room sizes. Essentially, as it's platform agnostic, the vendors don't produce guidelines in the same way. Their recommendations might prove helpful though. In many cases, the same hardware used for ecosystem rooms can be deployed in a BYOD setting. Loosely, as the ecosystems do, break your rooms down into sort of room categories. And there's a number of them that are typically used. So we start with the personal experience, and that's generally laptops. Huddle rooms will be up to 3 to 4 people, and then we run through a series of small, mid-size, large, extra large, and then open plan environments. Sitting alongside meetings is an array of AI productivity tools. These can work in a BYOD environment too, which is great. And productivity tools are designed to enhance meeting understanding, the follow-up and decision making. They work by transcribing the spoken word, providing a comprehensive written record of the meeting. And from this written record, AI tools are able to write meeting minutes, identify and assign meeting follow-up actions, and provide insights and analysis around decision making. They can also translate text into different languages if required. Some of these AI tools sit within the software ecosystem, some are external. The quality of the transcription matters, so put rubbish in and you get rubbish out. So hardware selection and the room acoustics will impact upon the quality of this, and it should always be considered. So what do we recommend? Well, it depends on the room, the audience and the flexibility needed. There's no one size fits all. Some of the main features that we look for are room equipment that's selected based upon the room size and format. So if you're deploying ecosystem rooms elsewhere in the office, use the equipment guidance that they provide as a basis for your bring your own device rooms. If you only plan to deploy bring your own device, again, look at the ecosystem guidance, as some of those products will cross over. You need to correctly size your displays to maximize productivity. And you need also to look at room acoustics, because a sound acoustic environment will make sure that everything works properly. There are many things to consider when looking at your next meeting room upgrade. At Meeting Room Doctor, we know this and we want to help. Whilst our videos are helpful, sometimes you just want professional guidance dedicated to your project. Well, I'm pleased to introduce Meeting Room Doctor Surgery and Meeting Room Doctor on your team. Meeting Room Doctor Surgery provides professional AV consultancy for a fixed fee per room. This package includes a professional assessment of your display screen sizes using industry formulas and matched to the plans of your room. We conduct a comprehensive reverberance assessment to ensure the room doesn't echo and performs at its best. And if needed, we can recommend acoustic treatments too. We provide AV elevation templates, and these guide construction teams on the exact placement of hardware, services and cable routes, vital to ensure the correct performance and the highest quality look for your meeting room. We make hardware recommendations. This includes all elements: display screens, cameras, microphones, speakers, conferencing hardware, the whole solution. We can also recommend Meeting Room Doctor approved install contractors should you not have one already. Lastly, our comprehensive companion guide gives a deep dive into AV technologies and helps you understand the theory behind our recommendations. Meeting Room Doctor on your team is more hands-on, and it's designed for companies refurbishing or relocating over a longer period of time. The clue's in the name really. On your team means that we become part of your team for the duration of your project. In addition to surgery items, we want to immerse ourselves into your project. We want to fully understand your objectives, and we want to meet your team and become part of your technology vision. Let us help you define what success looks like in your meeting rooms. And then to understand the plans, the usage, the budget requirements, and to recommend ultimately the technical solution that will meet this. We can even introduce you to our Meeting Room Doctor approved installers, or we can work with your existing partners. During the build, we often join weekly project calls and act as a bridge between internal teams and construction and technology people. A simple conversation can quickly keep a project on track, ensuring success and avoid costly variations. Upon completion, we can verify the installation just to check that it meets those success criteria that we set out before, and we can also recommend ongoing support, training and the documentation requirements to make sure that your system works for the long term. Be sure to check out the link in the description for more information. If you found this video useful, check out our other Fundamentals series videos where we cover a wide variety of meeting room technologies and what AV professionals consider when they're looking at meeting spaces. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate your support. Make sure to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. Let's all agree, every meeting room deserves to be doctor approved. But for now, I've got other patients waiting. Meeting Room Doctor out.